Hey guys, it's Megan
and Stephanie,
and we are
Barn
Besties
with Farm Fresh Advice.
And we are here with Lori on part 5.
Is it or 6 or is it 8?
It's 5. Yeah, I'm the only one who's counting, but Lori, where are we?
It's too cold for me to count.
Yeah, I know. We need to go inside, but where the
Yeah,
heck
we're
are
gonna
we?
go inside. We're in the lower part of the bank barn now.
So come on in.
So come on in.
Come on, join us out of the cold. There's a step up.
Yeah, this is a milk house.
Yeah.
That still has the post sitting there. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I have
Yeah.
one of these.
Woo! So, Lori, what was here before your attack? This is called a milk house.
Yeah.
So
Big
it would
old
be
stainless steel.
There wasn't anything. They had taken it out. The
Oh,
person that used these buildings used them to store their classic cars.
Oh wow.
So there was
Wow.
nothing in here
They
when
had
I
already
came
pulled it
in.
all
They had
out.
already pulled that all out. So it, luckily enough, it works nicely for a nice little heated area.
And anyone who
And it's
doesn't
nice.
know, this is where the bulk tank would be stored.
Yeah.
So it'd be a big metal tank filled with milk. But now, what do we have in here,
Now
Lori?
we have tack and supplies and trying to keep everything warm, keep it from freezing, first aid stuff, any tools that you might need, saddles, helmets, grooming tools, all of that's here.
Oh, I
So-
like this. This organizer.
Yeah.
for
Yeah, that's
fly
it.
nets.
Yeah.
This is
Great
a great
idea.
idea.
Yeah, it's a little
A
shoe.
little shoe organizer.
Yeah.
That is a
Shoe
great idea.
organized so I can just pull them out. I know whose is whose and which one's clean, and then I just
Right,
put
and
them
it
back in
goes
there.
all the way down to the
so-
ground. You got and look at these.
Yeah, these are great.
really awesome. But look at that. That is just brilliant.
I think
Right
a lot of barns do the lockers as we've seen, and a lot of people are switching over now onto these racks where you can just zoom
I
out.
Yeah.
wanted
Your
a
tack
rack for going to horse
Yeah.
shows.
Yeah.
I've seen them and eyeballed them, but for packing and
Mhm.
moving, I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Yeah,
So,
and with not having an attached arena,
mhm.
Right.
this works well. Or I can roll it out. You'll see in the next part of the barn, I can just roll it out there instead of carrying all the stuff that I
Sure.
need. So
Yeah.
This is great. So tell us about I believe I see a heater and a dehumidifier.
mhm.
Does it get real wet in here?
Yeah, this is again, it's all cement block, so it can get pretty damp in here, and we all know that we do not want mold on our saddles.
No.
Mhm.
So I run that all year round, and then I just have
Does
a little
that fan
heater.
help?
It does, but
Does
it's
it?
very
That's-
old, and I worry
Okay.
a little bit about
Sure.
is it going to be.
I did not have
It
that on
works,
mine, so
and that
that's
heater
interesting.
actually works. That's
Okay.
behind you there, which is
Is that the original?
very
I don't
old, yeah,
remember ever
yeah.
seeing a heater because
Yeah.
I've been in many dairy barns,
Yeah.
so I'm very familiar with
I
the
suppose
milk
they have
color.
to keep it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
But
I don't.
normally it's hot with the equipment and
Right.
the milk in there.
Yeah, and usually the
So,
cows too,
yeah.
and the other part of it. But
Yeah,
yeah, I don't
this
know.
is
I do
fabulous.
turn them on, but
Neat.
yeah, and all my fences here are electric, so you'll see a fencer there that electrifies a small
Sure.
area to keep them off of the really
Yeah.
the hillside there. So
This is great. Everybody needs a little area for their tack.
yes, and we like it dry. So
All right.
they're my
All right.
We're following.
And, you know, all
We're
of-
off.
gifts from people.
Yeah.
I like
You know how
this
you
one.
like. This one is very important.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. And this one, barn rules: if you ride it, feed it.
Yep.
If you break it, fix it. So
Yeah.
watch out for the air tube.
Okay.
Keep the warm air in there.
Oh, yeah, I can see
Oh, nice.
it. Yeah, this is great.
Yep.
Wonder how
Look.
many.
So this is what's holding up.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh. So you can see it better than we could on the earlier video from the top.
What are stripper
The big
poles?
bolts. Yeah.
Yeah. So like I said, it's called a hung barn. So
Yeah.
this part is hung from the beams above.
Was this a Swiss
And
built
this
barn?
isn't-
Do you know?
I don't. I moved here in 2017.
Yeah.
So
Do you know
I don't
anything
know a lot about the
original
history.
homesteaders or anything?
I know of their last name because the driveway was a road. It was called
Oh.
Jolly Road.
Oh wow.
And that's what they would name the road so that the city or the township had to take care of the roads
Sure.
so that you come up to get
Yes,
the milk.
They do.
Mhm.
And then they wouldn't have to pay for
Sure.
having their
This is
done.
lovely.
So yeah, so this is where I
So this was an old
lots
dairy.
of things
Did you
stored.
do anything to this area, or
This-
is it because you said there were cars? In
Yeah.
here. So this was a garage,
Right.
and then you purchased it,
Yes.
and now it's horse stalls.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. horse stalls.
Yes.
So this is where I bring the horses in to eat. So I put mats down for safety purposes so they don't slip. And again, I have garage doors on either end so I can get good airflow. It's nice and cool in here and actually warmer in the winter. You wouldn't know it today. But yeah, so these are just configured that they're just hooked together on the corners and it's super flexible. So last winter, I had my mare could come in part of this and go back out, and now I've redone the outer part to allow for to be a little bit different. So, yeah. So I just
love how bright it is in here. It's bright and spacious.
Yes.
Yeah, they did good lighting,
Yeah.
which is everywhere. That's so nice. Yeah, and then the windows. It was a very windy day, and that one fell out and busted. So I've flashed it there. But these are kind of cool.
These are original.
Yeah. So if you pull out that screw, these just come and lean against here, so you have the airflow. And I put a screen out there.
Yeah.
So just because if the window busted, I didn't want it to go out there because you'll see that's a paddock.
Oh, nice. This is lovely. I love the old, so well-built dairy barns.
Yeah.
Really, really well-built. And like you said, when they build them into the side of the hill, they're so warm.
I love these fans.
Yeah, I use that in the.
Check out the fan.
Yeah.
That's so
So I'll turn that fan on, and I'll put just a box fan in one of these. I'll pull and then when the horses come up, sometimes on a hot day, they'll at least get a little of the flies.
Sure.
Yeah, because I've been wanting to put a larger fan, but same concept, that pulls the hot air out. I have a pole barn where my horses live, and it gets really hot in the summertime. So I, just like a dairy barn, it pulls the hot air, or you can bring the air in. Either way. So that's a thought, guys. Think about your fan situation.
Airflow is everything when you're housing horses.
Yeah.
Everything.
So what's that little cubby corner?
Well,
Does it go up?
This is where I'm staring things right now, which I generally have that all tucked away in this was the silo room.
Oh, sure.
So, but since I'm preparing to have more help, I wanted everything right here. Otherwise, I wouldn't generally store my hay in my barn.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the feed room.
Barns. They call it the silo barn.
Yeah, so this is where I have all my feed.
Nicely labeled.
Yep, they're all labeled. It's important to get the right food when especially as you have aging horses. Behind you in the freezer, because freezers are airtight, it's not plugged in, it's not operating as a freezer, but there's a bunch more of my feed stored in there.
Keeps the mice and
keeps the mice and everything out of it. Yep.
Those who don't belong don't get to get into it. Yeah,
that's right.
So tell us what's behind you.
A beautiful old silo.
Yes.
This is to keep the water from coming down because it comes in here. I haven't climbed up there to see.
Is that the ladder access?
No, it's more like I think where you could. I don't know. You climb on the outside in here.
No,
maybe.
No, I think
because
that's
you climb on
climb
this.
up.
You can climb all the way up.
Yeah, and then you go to the top.
Yeah, so like these.
You move.
These are really cool.
Yeah.
And you can open this and then look inside the silo if you want, but I don't want to.
No,
that's where the bats live.
I was gonna say your bats.
Keep
it
closed.
hibernated.
That's where my bats live.
We don't need to just.
I like that.
Yeah, that's the ladder.
No,
access.
I bet that you gotta climb up it and either open and close the door. Yeah.
Who knew?
Move the thing down.
You can climb up on the outside too. I do know that because I have done that.
Yeah.
Brave.
Because I thought it would be fun.
Very fun.
All right, we're coming on out, cameraman.
So I use a lot of barn lime. I put lime on all the pea spots outside. Don't like that. But this is something that works well. I don't have heated water down here. And I have to soak food for my mare.
Yeah.
So this is a water bucket that is plugged in,
Like
and
16
her
gallons or so? I think
yeah.
I've seen those.
Fill it.
her food is in there soaking.
Sure.
And then because it's heavy, as you might imagine, it just gets dumped into this. And then I pull the sled out and push it off and bring the sled back in. So it's a great way, again, when you're doing things by yourself, things get heavy. I love my sleds. I
Right.
have a big ice fishing sled that
Sure.
actually has runners on the bottom
Sure.
that are reinforcers. That's how all of the hay gets out into the pasture in
Sure.
the winter. And then, of course, a bunch of chopped hay because
Yeah.
some of them need that.
Yeah.
So
this
that
is
is bagged alfalfa.
Yeah,
That is,
sure.
I've never seen that.
So this is chopped. This is kind of, you go from regular hay when horses start quitting their hay, which they roll it up.
For age.
Yeah, they kind of mature horses.
Yeah.
They start rolling up their hay, and you find little hay cigars all over the place.
Mhm.
Like my horses would like suck on it and get some nutrients out of it. But I started feeding them chopped alfalfa.
Oh, it's like
Yeah.
silage almost.
Yeah,
See
and
that,
but it's
guys?
not preserved, and there's
Yeah.
no.
It's
so-
dry.
yeah, it's dry.
It smells good.
Yeah,
That
so
alfalfa.
there's
So when-
bales.
And
When
why
the
do
horses
you-
start losing their teeth, they can't chew normal hay. This is a progression.
Right.
And
So
you're not afraid to feed alfalfa. Some individuals are.
yeah,
So
I
just
think
wanted to
you
point that
again
out.
have to know your horse.
Yes.
And know what their needs are and
Mhm.
what their ability to process things are. If you have horses that have some sort of metabolic issue, this wouldn't be a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Which I do have one here that is does have Cushing's. They've diagnosed her as having Cushing's, but
They actually warn you about grass hay with Cushing's.
yeah.
It's got more sugars
It's a
in
sugar
it,
level.
so
it's all
level,
about
yeah.
sugar.
it is. It's,
Yeah.
So you need to know your nutrition.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, this
But
is
this
great.
would be a good time to say consult with your vet or your nutritionist. But
Yeah.
I think it's awesome to see people feed alfalfa. So I just
Mhm.
wanted to point that out. That's
It
all.
is. It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, and
'Cause I
the
do too.
mare that's like I said, she's almost 34. She still has teeth; they're just worn down. She can get a substantial amount of alfalfa,
Yes.
and it just doesn't bother her one bit.
Mhm.
It's
I
just a lot of
don't know that
protein.
she could. Yeah, I don't know that. I don't think I could keep her weight
Yeah. Yeah.
if I didn't give her.
I had a horse many years
I
ago
just
who
covered
had
it.
issues
I don't know
as
why.
well.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the chopped alfalfa readily available. I ended up buying alfalfa pellets.
Right.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I
what's
did.
in that bucket.
Soaking them with like beet pulp.
Yep.
Kind of a nice mix, and it
Yep.
smells
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like good
You have to
oatmeal.
make sure it's completely
Yep.
saturated
Yep.
when you feed
Yep.
the cubes.
Yep.
That's
Not
the big-
cubes. These are pellets.
Oh,
Pellets
Pellets.
soak up better than cubes.
Yeah, cubes.
So I have
cubes don't
cubes.
soak.
Yeah.
And you have to use a lot of
Pellets
water.
pop
You're right.
out really well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so often, I mean, the why we're talking about this is because when you have a dry product, you add it to their throat, and then it expands, and so you'll risk a choke if
Yeah.
you don't have things soaked properly. That's why that soaks all day.
Mm-hmm.
And the other pellets that I have, and it's all pellet. That's alfalfa pellets.
Yep.
And beet pulp.
Yep.
And soybeans,
It
roasted
smells
soybeans.
amazing. Yep.
Yeah.
Smells delicious.
And then some senior feed, and I think that's all.
Yeah,
that's
and
in it.
the
Beet
nice thing
pulp.
about that kind of soaking is you know your animals are getting good hydration
Mhm.
because that is delivering
big
so
deal.
much hydration to
In the
them.
winter.
And it's
Yep.
warm in the winter. She's getting a warmed up belly
Yep.
as well.
Yeah, I think that always,
really
you know, the
great.
part that's difficult is making sure that because horses have such a small stomach and are meant to be grazing, that it's still a bolus of food. I can trust her to eat it slowly over time, and I think that's always something we're always challenged with, is making sure that our
Yeah.
horses.
always
Ideally, I
eating.
I'd give that, space that out
Right.
for 4 times a day, 5
Right.
times a
But
day.
you work, right?
I do.
You can't be here.
I can't be here.
Yeah.
So
do
she's.
you have a way for in the extreme cold to plug in like something similar to that so that she's eating out of something heated, or will it freeze down pretty quick for her?
Yeah, it well, you
That's
can
always a
see in the
challenge.
blue bucket there
Yeah.
there's some frozen in it,
Mhm.
and that's by morning.
Winter
That's what
is
she has.
challenging.
It
Yeah.
is. I could run. There's no reason I couldn't run an electric cord and just let her eat right out of that. The
Mhm.
challenge is that that's meant for water,
Right. You'd have
and
to
I
make sure you came
worry
back
about
out.
the heating element of it if she got
And the
close to
cord.
that. Yeah.
I've had a lot of horses
Yeah.
that play with the cord, but it
Yeah,
depends.
yep.
Obviously,
Yeah.
it depends on the cord and the location.
yep.
But
Yeah.
yeah, no.
And the
Yeah.
horse.
And the horse.
Some
yeah.
30-year-old horses aren't going to care about playing with anything.
No, and she doesn't play with things.
Yeah.
She's too afraid. Yeah.
She's like, those days.
Yeah, so sometimes I run my cords. I'll run them through the black
Like landscape.
landscape.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Really
do
smart.
that. It's visible in the snow,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also then kind of protects that as well.
Absolutely. You don't run it over with
Yeah.
the lawnmower?
Yeah, that's another
Why
good
are you
thing.
looking at me?
We've had this
Yeah.
conversation
Yeah.
on video before about hoses
Mhm.
being run over by
Oh.
lawnmowers and all that.
That's funny, all those things, yeah. Yeah, and hoses. That's another thing in the winter. I have the
Oh.
hoses that are
Yeah.
like expandable
Yeah.
because my
I
pump
call
is
them-
up there by the windmill.
Ah.
So I drag out. I have it in a muck bucket with
Yeah.
I make a little shoulder sling
shoulder
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I can, put
Yeah.
it all away and put it in my heated workshop.
I call it the devil hose because if you don't let it, like when you shut it off and you don't let it drain everywhere, and I'm not
Yeah.
very patient,
Yeah.
so it gets.
And even sometimes when you turn it on
Yeah.
and it gets to the end and it's like the end's going wild. It's like one of those kid things that.
The
Yeah.
devil hose.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
then you'll see my other gate here.
Should we make a different video?
Yeah. Should we go into another part?
Yeah, let's go into another
Okay.
part.
So
yeah.
let's do that, guys.
Bye, guys. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make
Yep.
sure you like. We need all your love. Please support us. And thank you, Lori.
Yeah,
and we're going to
my
move
pleasure.
on to part 6.
I can't count. I'm glad you know what it is.
I'm on it. Today
I'm
I'm
just
on
going
it.
to say the next part. So, yeah, we got more to see. So, we'll be back.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
guys.